problem is I don't have a mic, so like if I want to talk, I kind of gotta like put the headset on or just awkwardly stand here and like talk, and I'm probably raping the mic. Yo, hold up. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's been a while since I like made a video. It's been a week. I'm trying to do like a little. This is gonna be like a little story time type of video because some blessed story.
I'm a shooter, I'm a shoot ya. Cut blocks around with the Ruger, head.
Some blessedness happened yesterday when I went to my friend's work. So I guess I'm just gonna be like trying to like playing Cold War, get some backup, get some gameplay in the back because Cold War is kind of blessed. Yeah, other than that, enjoy. All right. So I mean, yeah, it says I'm level 77, but just so we're all on the same page here, I'm not that much of a tryhard. I promise. I actually just play the game. Also, everyone's kind of prestige at this point, so yeah. My game before wasn't running at 144 hertz, so it was kind of just fucking crashing, so I had to scrap that video and also just leave the game. Now I'm probably gonna load mid-game into some next shit that I don't want to load into. Yeah, these are just double XP tokens, but I guess my camera's blocking that, so that's unlucky. Yeah, basically to start off, me and my friends, I was like, yo, you know what? My friend calls me up. He's like, yo, you trying to chill? And I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'm about it. Why not? I was bored. We were doing quick scoping matches in my COD, in my Discord. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go outside. I know, crazy. So we go outside, and I'm like, yo, where are we going to go? We go to our school, call up another friend. He pulls up. So at this point, what is that? 1 + 1 + 1. That's 3 niggas. 3 of us. Yes, we're all black. There's 3 niggas. And we're like, yo, let's go visit our other nigga, but he's not black, he's white. And I'm like, yo, let's visit this guy, you know what I'm saying? Let's go see what's up with him. He's at work, we know where he works. He works near the place we weren't really planning to go to, but we were like, yo, let's go get food. And he lives like, or not lives, he works near like a food place. And we're like, you know what, we're gonna go there. So we went. We pulled up, right? We get to the plaza and we get to the store, and I'm like, yo, I've never been in this store, to be honest. So the store was like Marshall's. It's some like Winners-ish thing. I live in Canada, right? Like Winners is another store, and it's like sort of like a clothing store and shoes and all that. Why does nobody vote to good maps? You walk in and they have like a greeter that's used. That's what like every store has now. And am I really the what the really? So basically when we pulled up, we walk in, you know, there's a greeter, there's 3 of us, you know, and we kind of just start like aimlessly, I guess, walking around because we're looking for him, right? Like we know we work there, and my friend called him earlier and was like, yo, you trying to come out with us? And he's like, nah, I have work. And we're like, oh shit, well it's like 4 now, so we're gonna assume he starts working at maybe 4:30 or something. To our best of knowledge, he started work at 5. It's 4:50 when we walk in there. So, you know, we're kind of strolling around the store looking for him, but we don't know where he is. And it looks like it's kind of sus. You have 3 niggas just walking around like a store, and it's predominantly like a white store, I think, because we kind of live in like the white neighborhood. It's like a white suburbs in a way. Yeah, so we're kind of just walking around, and we're not really seeing him. And then we remember, oh shit, yo, he told us he works in shoes. So we pull up to shoes after walking around, I guess, kind of being looked at, because just imagine you just have these people. I mean, some people are just racing. I was like, oh yeah. We kind of pull up to shoes, and there's like this older lady there, like this like a manager, and I'm like, yo, I don't know, she's kind of just lingering. She's like lingering near us, so we're all just like near shoes. I'm just looking at shoes, kind of like messing around and shit. How am I not loading into a game? Glad to see we're all voting Crossroads. Everyone's getting muted. This time the mute button actually worked. Let's go. All right, glad to see we're all playing on the same map. We're all playing Crossroads. Good shit. So yeah, we pull up to shoes, and I'm like, this lady's kind of lingering next to us. I mean, yeah, there's 3 of us, but like, what are we gonna do? We gonna steal? We ain't gonna steal. They don't know that though, because, you know, it's just the way it goes. So yeah, we just kind of meme around. We're picking up random kicks. I'm like, yo, look at these kicks. I mean, they were not that nice, but it was kind of like a joke of a thing, right? You can turn on the tokens when you're in game now. That's badly worked. Oh my gosh, I just tabbed out. Fuck. Ah, what? Bro, why is this game so buggy now? Like, I just crashed. Scan and repair. Nice, my game closed. Like, what the fuck? That was a good map, too. I tell them, I'm like, yo, don't load me into mid-games, all right? I haven't been loaded into a mid-game yet, and now my game's crashing, or it's not running at 144 hertz. Like, just fucking... Yeah. we kind of arrived to shoes, and we're looking around. I'm like, yo, look at these kicks. These kicks were not fire. So I continue joking around, picking up random shoes and all that. And I noticed this girl's kind of like to my left for a second. I'm like, yo, she's kind of like right next to me. So she's like right here. It's like right here, and I'm like here, and I'm like, yo, you're kind of like close. I didn't actually say that, but in my head, I'm like, yo, I don't know. She's kind of like lingering as if we're gonna do something. And then she wraps back around. She's over there, and I'm like, okay, word. So you know, she's probably just manager working in her department. So I call up my friend. I'm like, yo, where you at? And he's like, oh, no, I'm here now. So yeah, he walks in. I'm not even going to hit anything because if I DC again, I'm going to be very upset. We're going to select our class slowly. Very slow. That's it. Hands are off the keyboard. That's it. So, yeah, he pulls up and he's like, yo, I'm here now. And right away, he walks behind us. Behind us is like a washroom. And it says restrooms, but if you go in there and turn right, it's actually like where you punch in for them. And I'm like, oh, word, that's cool. So he goes to punch in, and me and my niggas, we cut to the left, and we go to the washroom. I'm like, yo, this washroom's kind of whatever. We're just joking around because the end goal was to get food. Like, we only came to visit him, but this turned out a lot more interesting than I thought. So we're in there. We wait like 5-6 minutes, and I'm like, yo, I don't know where this guy's at. He comes back. So we wait like 5-6 minutes ish, and I'm like, yo, I don't know where this guy's at. Like, we kind of need him to, like, you know, be here because we're not just trying to chill in the washroom for no reason. So he comes back, and the first thing he says, because it's kind of how we speak, he's like, just know, there is a lot of racism in this store. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean by that? And he's like, what the fuck? Oh my gosh, what is that guy doing? I'm like, just know there is a lot of, or he's like, just know there's a lot of racism in this store. And I'm like, I'm the worst player ever. I was not. He's like, just know there is a lot of racism in this store. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, I punched in. It's been 2 minutes. And I've already been questioned 3 times or 2 times about you guys. And I'm like, what the fuck we questioned about us? What does that even mean? He's like, well, that manager, that old girl over there, she was like, I walk in and she's like, so you know those guys, those 3, but you guys, she's like, you know those black guys? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, like I've known them like my whole life. Like, they're good. Don't have to worry about them. They're chill. Holy fuck, the AUG is broken. He's like, I've known them my whole life, you know, they're chill, they're not gonna do anything. She's like, oh, you sure you know them? She was getting kind of like anxious. And I knew she was anxious because when I talked to her the first time, she was kind of like, where is this guy? When I asked her if I could go in the washroom that first time, she was like looking at me all weird, just like, she was getting all anxious about it and didn't feel like actually answering me properly, I feel. And then she answered. So he was like, yeah, I've known them my whole life. And he's like, are you, she asked, are you sure you know them? And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, she said that. I'm gonna be like, or I was like, Jesus, I was like, I'm just trying to fucking frag out, not gonna cap. Pull my shotgun on this bitch. So he was like, yeah, I mean, I've known them my whole life, so like they're chilling. And she had to make sure, like, are you sure you know them? And he goes, yes. So then he's like, she goes, oh, thank God. Right after I heard this oh thank God part, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, mind you, we're like, say, we aren't bad people. Like, we might, I guess, appear so to society. Like, I don't know, because some people are just fucked, but we don't really do none of that like stupid shit. We don't get in trouble either. I guess you could say we're generally like good kids, but I guess like the vibe we give off and like our personas and shit could be a little bit like frightening for some people, if that makes sense. It's just the neighborhood. It's just how it goes. So she's like, oh, thank God we're safe. And right away I'm like, damn, bro, I didn't know we were like out here like that, making people like unsafe and shit. And he's like, yeah, that's just the first one though, because mind you, there was 2 stories. What the fuck is happening? I thought that was next to someone. Mind you, there was 2 stories. That was the first one. The second one was his coworker that's like around roughly our age. Our coworker, or his coworker's like, yo, do you know, can you check on those black guys in there? Analea, or whatever the fuck her name was, it told me to check on them. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So this girl told him to check on them. I guess she was that worried. She had to tell multiple, she had to ask multiple questions to multiple people. She's just that concerned. she was just that concerned. She had to ask like that many questions to that many people. And when she asked him this, it's his job, so he's gonna do it. So he comes to my friend. He's like, "Yo, do you know those guys?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, they're my boys. They're my boys. Trust me, I know them. I know them." And he's like, "Oh, okay, just gotta make sure because like Alien or whatever was like kind of like worried about something." You know? Now I guess to our to be fair, 3 people walking anywhere into a washroom first thing is a little bit sus, no matter how you look at it, because I'm getting fucking sniped and bombed. Like 3 people walking anywhere and just, you know, talking to people or going straight to the washroom is gonna be sus by default, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I get that part, but at the same time, like the way she said, "Oh, thank God we're safe" and shit, it's like, whoa. Anyways, he walked out of the washroom and he left, and I'm like, yo, bro, that's kind of fucked. Like, low key, like, before we walked in there, I was like, yo, I already knew some shit's gonna happen, because just the way life works in society and shit, people are just by default gonna be like sus of us, especially if they're the group of us. Because as weird as fucked up as it sounds and as weird as it is, like, people are like, I'm not gonna say terrified of black people, but like being black, especially in a white neighborhood, it like kind of like fucks with people, and like it kind of like scares them on the way. Even if we are of no actual threat, they will be like terrified. As weird as it sounds, I know it sounds weird as hell, but that's pretty much just what this story was. Like, there's no sugarcoating the story. As much as I wanted to, like, there's no other way to say the story. Anyways, me and my niggas, we leave and we go get the food we were finally talking about getting, because the whole time we were like, yo, let's just get some food, and that ended up happening. This guy has armor. Oh, we got that shit. Oh my god.
Spy plane in the turn. We have eyes on.
And yeah, so overall, this is probably one of the most like blatant hate scenarios I've ever like actually encountered. I got stuck, bro. Probably one of the most blatant ones I've ever come across, because this is just you can't even hide this one. Like, even if you wanted to, you literally wouldn't be able to hide it. The way it went down was too like fucked. Guy. There's a lot of George Floyds too. That's my 4th one I've seen. Like, no cap. Why was that guy in the corner? And how did he not die to the... What the fuck? Okay. And moral of the story is, people gonna be racist regardless where you go. And this is just speaking from like people of color. If you are a colored individual, so I guess in other words a minority, like, I guess just get used to it. As fucked up as it sounds, not get used to it, but like, you know. My friend also said he's gonna try to get her fired because no one likes her anyways. So I mean, hey man, I'm for it. If he's about it, I'm about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna like. Oh shit, I took a boat. I'm not gonna be like, yo man, like, this is just so fucked, and get all upset about it. To be honest, I was kind of laughing. And one thing you learn is you don't actually get upset at shit like this when you see it coming. Once again, as fucked up as that sounds, if like you're expecting it to happen, then you're not gonna be that like surprised or upset at it. You know, like, I literally walked in there telling myself, yo, some shit's gonna be happen. Because when you walk around in a group like that, people are just people, I guess. Like, that's really all it is. I'm gonna frag out for real quick, and then we're gonna call this video fucking wrap. Oh, this is a peek, I dare him. No! Bro, I didn't know where to look. I'm not even gonna lie. I just kind of shot right there. Like, my team. See, this is my problem with COD. Like, we're like skill-based matchmaking. Like, where the fuck? Oh, I'm dead. What the fuck? You were this bitch. Ready? No, it didn't kill him. Everyone's negative. What? How though? I don't think this game's that hard, but maybe they're having trouble running it or some shit. If this guy's in the corner again, I swear. Okay. No. Let's leave. I could veto this game, but it's really not gonna matter, just because of how like we lost by a while. Mind you, I could barely even pay attention because I'm so focused on trying to get the story out. And I Yo, he actually almost died to that free fire. 50 rounds. Yeah, Mark. No! Dude. It is what it is. You can't solo queue this game. Also, please nerf the AUG and M16. I'm tired of getting one burst to stupidity.
Multiple hostile spy planes detected.
Yeah, man. That was it. We kind of just walked in. And, thank God we're safe. That's still to this. That's always going to be crazy to me. Play the game wasn't even that good. Lol.